Where are your parents?
Look, Mommy, look.
Dustin makes a slimy new friend and 11 breaks free. Let's break down Chapter 3 of Season 2 of Stranger Things. What's up, you lovely people? Lisa here. Welcome back to another Stranger Things Season 2 recap. Now, I just finished episode 3 titled Pollywog, so let's dive in. Nancy doesn't seem to remember that she told Steve everything was bullshit at the Halloween party, but he tells her her other boyfriend Jonathan drove her home, and when Steve tells her to say that she loves him, she doesn't. Uh-oh. Trouble in paradise. Nancy then goes straight to confide in, well, Jonathan, and the two decide to take things into their own hands when it comes to the secrets they're keeping about Barb. They skip school to start their Justice for Barb campaign and go to Radio Shack to buy something, but we don't end up seeing what it is. But I will guess that it's some kind of recorder, because Nancy then calls Barb's mom and tells her that she wants to explain what happened that night with Barb, and she gives her a place and time to meet. And of course, the bad men are listening in on the call, which I'm guessing is what Nancy and Jonathan wanted all along. Hopper discovers the destruction of all the crops goes back to one starting point: the Hawkins lab. He now goes to confront Dr. Owens, and we learn that Hopper agreed to keep things quiet in Hawkins for them as long as the lab people kept their shit out of the town. Well, it seems like that line's been crossed, and Hopper thinks he's done his part, so now he demands that Dr. Owens and his men go run tests on the crops to make sure it's not something from their lab that's escaped. Dr. Owens and his men run their tests and tell Hopper that, he's right, but they need a day or two to finish all their tests, and Hopper has to keep the area clear. Hopper then gets a call on the radio, and the other cops bring up the Russian girl that private investigator Murray kept blabbering about, and we see that the cop is standing with a mom and a child. Hopper immediately thinks, oh, light bulb, and runs off in a panic because he knows what's happened. Basically, 11 is fed up with Hopper's lies because, friends don't lie. He keeps her locked up, and he knows that she goes to see Mike in her special way, but he says it's too dangerous for her to go see him. But he's making progress with the people, and it's gonna happen soon, but the word soon kind of triggers 11.
Oh. Day 700, on day 800, Friends, don't lie!
We then get the flashback of Hopper finding 11 and them cleaning out this little cabin in the woods that used to be his dad's, and at one point, 11 even asks if she has a mom. Hopper says of course, but she's gone. Hopper then gives 11 three main rules to follow. Always keep the curtains drawn, only open the door for a secret knock, and don't ever go out alone, especially in the daylight. Well, 11 says screw you to all three of those rules and busts open the curtains and leaves in search of the school, which is where she crosses paths with that mom. When she finds Mike, he's in the gym with Max, and Max is demanding to know why he hates her so much, and Mike tells her it's because she's annoying and they don't need any more members in their club because it's all planned out, and he kind of mentions 11 and how she moved away. Now Max is skating around him, and it seems like Mike might be warming up to Max a little, but then Max learns a big lesson. Don't ever mess with 11's man. 11 sees all this through the window and makes Max fall off her skateboard. Now when Max tells Mike it felt like a magnet pull her off, he immediately knows that maybe it's 11 and runs outside looking for her, but she's already gone. Speaking of Max, we get another little clue into her and Billy's relationship. Now when Max is late for her ride home from school, Billy tells a girl that he's with not to call Max his little sister because she's not. I'm guessing that they are now like step siblings, or maybe she's a foster kid or something. Moving on, Bob informs Joyce that he watched the video Will shot on Halloween and saw some kids tease him and call him Zombie Boy. Joyce rushes home after work, watches the tape, and at the end she sees Will standing staring up at the sky. And there's some static or some kind of shape that she goes and grabs some paper and traces it onto it. She realizes that it matches the drawing that Will made of the monster. She immediately calls the school to try to find Will, but the secretary informs her that the AV club must have been canceled for the day because Mr. Clark already left, and Joyce is now in a panic and hops in her car. Alright, now let's hop to the Pollywog storyline. Dustin has brought the creature from the trash can into the house, and he boots his turtle out of its home to make way for it. It looks like a gross, slimy pollywog of sorts, but it's also a little different. Dustin really takes to this thing, and it becomes kind of like his best friend, and he feeds it some of his Three Musketeers bar and decides to name it D'Artagnan, or Dart for short. Now I'm starting to wonder if this slimy, gross, tadpole, pollywog, naked mole rat type thing is responsible for all those dead crops. He's kind of small though, so I don't know if he could do it all by himself. So are there others? Well, Dustin ends up bringing it to school for show and tell during AV Club at lunch. Now the boys and Max stare at it and Dustin informs them that he thought it was a pollywog, but after his research, he realizes it doesn't act like any of the species of pollywog that he's read about. Dart doesn't like heat and light. As Lucas suggests they take it to Mr. Clark, Will has a flashback to the slug thing he coughed up at the end of season 1. Will tells Mike about it and the two stop the rest of the group from showing Mr. Clark Dart just in time. They head back to the AV Club room but block poor Max in the hallway. Mike says that maybe Will's episodes aren't flashbacks at all, but that he can see into the upside down, and they think that maybe they should take Dart to Hopper instead. Now Dustin is so attached to Dart already that he doesn't want to take him because he thinks that Dart might get hurt. Dart then starts going crazy in the trap, and when he gets out, he starts to grow back legs, and this freaks everyone out, especially Mike, and he tries to hit him with the lamp, and Dart ends up running right out of the door because Max has picked the lock to open it. The kids then spend time searching for Dart, and Will ends up finding Dart in a stall in a bathroom. He radios the group to give his location, and when Dart hisses at Will, it freaks him out because he's heard that sound before, so he drops his radio and runs into the hall where he ends up having another episode. Dustin gets to Dart before the others and hides him under his hat saying, "Oh, he's not here, Will must have taken him." Meanwhile, Will has run out onto the football field and the monster is growing, like the shadow thing, and chasing him. Will thinks back to the device that Bob gave him earlier in the episode where Bob told him how he got rid of his fear of clowns. Will decides to take Bob's advice, so he starts yelling at the monster to go away. But the monster, yeah, he has other plans and basically starts to enter Will and possess him. So of the 3 episodes I've watched so far this season, for me this one was maybe the slowest, but I'm excited to see more of what pans out with Dart and also Will being possessed. So I guess at the end it got kind of exciting. Now, as always, before I wrap it up, here are a few of my favorite moments and lines from the episode.
What's wrong with you?
Nothing.
Did something happen?
No. What? No.
Are you constipated again?
I am on a curiosity voyage, and I need my paddles to travel. These books are my paddles.
Mr. Henderson!
I need my paddles!
Hey, maybe you should just shut up and play the game.
Mr. Sinclair.
So sorry, I was looking for a study hall. Bye.
Alright, that wraps up my recap of Season 3, Episode 3 of Stranger Things. Now, while I go off to watch Episode 4, hit the comments with your thoughts and theories and favorite moments and lines. Like, what do you think Dart really is, and is he the same thing that Will coughed up last season? Let me know, then you can check out the rest of my Stranger Things recaps right over here, or an overall, season recap with theories and unanswered questions. I'm Lisa, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.